How do you feel when you hear someone speak English? People may feel a range of emotions when speaking English, including nervousness, excitement, and enjoyment. Some people may feel nervous when speaking English because they're afraid of making mistakes or that others won't understand them. Some people may feel excited when speaking English because they're able to communicate with others. Some people may find speaking English enjoyable and communicative. So, to delve deeper into it, today I'm joined by Pritam Pradhan. He hails from Darjeeling and has extensive experience as an English language trainer. So, what are we waiting for? Let's dive into it.
All right, great. Okay, so I
Yeah,
understand that you are really passionate about learning this language, and uh, as I said, that I have uh, watched some of your videos, and your English is fantastic, and so is your voice. Uh, so,
thank you.
yeah. So, uh, why is it that you are keeping on taking sessions over here, just for the YouTube videos, or just for your own practice, as in?
I think practice is also one of the important things why I'm taking sessions because you are in direct touch with tutors or specialists, right? And you get to learn so many things while you communicate with people, and especially with someone like you or experts, right? So you get to learn so many things. That's number one. And number two is also, yeah, like you pointed out very correctly, that I'm also a YouTuber parallelly. And I love sharing my experience on this platform. So I upload conversational videos and few others as well, like storytelling and some videos like where I'm able to teach grammars, right? A little bit of grammar, and then sentence construction, and a little bit of that. I mean, something entirely related to English. So that is what I do.
Great. All right. And how consistent have you been with YouTube so far?
Ah, that's really a great question. Actually, I'll tell you. It's this is the game of consistency. When you are on YouTube, you have to be consistent, and that's only the key. As far as my experience goes, as far as I have learned from YouTube, is that you have to be consistent. But unfortunately, I was not able to consistently upload videos, all because of my liabilities. I have, I'm a father of twins, and then I had to take a gap for about a year. And then I think since they'll be 2 years now, and I think let's get back to work and start making videos, start having conversation, right? So I would say I'm back with bang, and I had a gap of 1 year. Yeah, I think I was able to answer your question.
Okay. All right. Um,
Right.
Is it okay if we just have a brief introduction? Because I would really like to know something about you, where you're from, what do you exactly do, what line of work are you in, and a little
Sure.
bit more about you as your hobbies and what you do in your free time. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, my name is Kumar Ravish, and I'm a working professional. I have around 14 years of experience. I am into US IT staffing. We hire people from US on, IT, non-IT positions. So I am not directly recruiting anymore. I am into, facilitating all of those. Like I'm a manager there. So that's about me. And when it comes to my family background, uh, I have two kids, and then my parents, my wife. Uh, if I have to talk about my education, I have done my master's, like MBA from Delhi, from one of the colleges. And then my area of specialization was HR in MBA.
Mhm.
And recruitment is also one of those verticals of HR. So ever since I started my career, that's entirely into HR itself. Started my career with HCL Technology way back in, I remember, 2009. And then I had to go out. I started working with one of the national companies, I would say. I We were hiring domestic people, domestic. We were into domestic staffing before, and then after spending a couple of years there, I moved out and joined US IT staffing. It's probably in 2013 onwards. I am there. So yes, if I have to talk about my hobbies, what I do is I love reading books sometimes, and then I love listening to music as well,
Hmm.
uh, and then watching cricket, of course. I am also a voiceover artist, but that's not. Uh, I think I'm not able to invest my time a lot into that, but yes, that is also my forte. I do a lot of advertising, and I've done that, and I'm still working on just in case, and if something comes up, I work on that. Yeah, these are so many things which I have been doing
Yeah.
parallelly. So
Okay.
that's a little about myself.
Uh,
So why don't you say something about yourself,
yeah,
please?
I would love to. Thank you so much for your beautiful introduction. And I think just to mention the obvious, you have really done justice to your voice by having this mic installed. Yeah. So it's cool. Yeah.
That is all because since I have been doing that parallelly.
Uh-huh.
So why don't you introduce it and communicate it? If you have to communicate, right? So why don't you have one set up for you, and
Yeah.
then and let your mic work for you, and
Yeah.
then make it more crispier. So that is why I install it.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. That's great. All right. Yeah, so to tell you something about myself, I'll keep it brief. My name is Pritam. You can call me by my name, and I'm from this place called Darjeeling. I'm sure you have heard of it. So,
Yes.
have you ever been to Darjeeling before, by any chance?
I've never been to Darjeeling. However, I have one of my friends or colleagues,
Okay.
I would say, he's from Darjeeling. Yes.
Yeah, so it's a small town on the foothills of Himalayas. So most people like to visit Darjeeling to just experience the weather. It's really pleasant over here, but it gets really cold in the winters as well. And how lucky for me
Right.
because I was born here and I get to see this Himalayan ranges, the mountain views every day. So I consider myself really lucky. And it's also famous for tea. So Darjeeling tea is quite famous.
Darjeeling
And
tea. Yes.
yeah, for a living, I teach English. I have been doing this for almost 4 years now. I think I'm also like yourself, very passionate about learning and teaching. It's a lifelong process, and I'm really happy to have this job. I get to work from the comfort of my home, and it's something that I really enjoy. And apart from my work, I play badminton. So as my regular routine, so I make sure that I just get out in the morning, first thing,
Okay.
and I
Okay.
play just helps me escape from the day to day, and it also keeps me fit and healthy. And on weekends, I like to go on motorcycle rides. So that's another thing that I thoroughly enjoy. So yeah,
Awesome.
that's a little bit about me. And thank you so much for listening. Yeah.
Okay. So you never came out from Darjeeling. You never visited Delhi, probably NCR or maybe two other places for jobs.
Now, unfortunately, not yet. So I
Okay.
studied in near in a nearby city in a city called Durgapur, just near to Kolkata.
Oh,
So
Kolkata.
where
Okay.
I completed my post graduation. So that's the
I
farthest
see.
I've been to, so to say. But yeah, I would really love to have this kind of opportunity to go somewhere. Yeah, but
Okay. But
to answer your question, not yet.
so when did you complete your graduation? Looks like you've recently done it, didn't you?
No, I okay. I studied English for my undergraduate, so I did that in 2017. And after
Okay.
that, I had a year gap where I started because I was all confused. I didn't know what to do, really disoriented, I would say. So I started preparing for government exams as well, which utterly, to my dismay, I failed. So I happened to go on to pursue masters, which I did from Durgapur. So I finished it in 2020. So I
I see.
completed my post graduation in 2020, and since pandemic, I started working remotely as an English trainer. Then, in a way, I've developed my own forte over here, so to say. I think I've been able to craft my own niche in this particular line of work. Yeah.
Yeah, even I can think. Ever since the COVID came, uh, the remote has become a new norm for a lot of people, right? And they didn't come out of it. But yes, I mean, when somebody who's working with corporate, say, you're in, I mean, you have to obey them. You have to follow them. What the instructions are being, shared from your company. And I think people like us, we also worked for, I think, remotely worked for, I think, so many years, I think a couple of years or even more than that. And then finally they called us. We had hybrid. And now we have one day from work from home, and then rest of the days we are supposed to be going to office. So, but if I talk about, since I am into recruitment industry, I'm from recruitment industry, and I hire people from US, and it has become a new norm in US as well. There are a lot of people, after COVID, they are still looking for remote opportunities. But companies have different aspirations. Companies have different, I think, expectations from people, and now they're calling up. We have something called hybrid, right? And there are so many companies who've now converted the entire module into on-site, right? And there's no option called remote, but still there are a few companies who are hiring remote. So we come across every day people show their interest that, okay, if it is remote, I'll be okay. Else, if it is hybrid, even if it is on site, probably look for other guys. So what I'm saying is, yeah, it has become new norm. And if you are in your comfort, if you're comfortable with your family, sitting at your home and working for hours, um, I mean, somewhere down the line, you get used to it, right? You have your comfort level. You don't
Yeah.
want to come out of it because you've got enough the family time or your time, right? You don't have to travel back and forth because there's a huge wastage of time there itself. When it comes to productivity and all of that, I think companies are making a lot of money, even if you work from home, right? But I don't know what happened. I mean, what happened to this culture? They were not able to digest people's comfort, and then the corporates started calling people back at work. So since you're enjoying working from home, that's an advantage, and that's really great of you. You do
Yeah,
that, please.
I like to think so. When I meet people from different parts of the country, and they tell me their commute is usually 2 hours or sometimes 4 hours. Usually
Absolutely.
the like the morning and the evening commute. So I am absolutely dazed because 4 hours can go into doing something productive. I feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. How long is the commute, by the way?
Mine.
Yeah.
Oh, it hardly takes like 1.5 hours, or hardly 1 hour, I would say, because
Mm.
we travel. I am into night shift, so
Okay.
we start traveling by I think 5:30 in the evening. So that's a rush hour, and it takes 45 minutes. And then when I come back in the morning, it hardly takes 15-20 minutes. So overall, I would say half 1 hour is something which is feasible. So
Okay.
that's not a lot of time that you're investing or probably wasting in traveling.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
Right.
I'm curious. How satisfied are you with the current routine that you have? So you said that you work in the night shift, right? So, excuse me. So, how happy are you with the current way of working at the moment?
I think I enjoy doing that. Since I've been doing that since long, and I have no complaints. I would say it's just that it's a cycle which has got changed if you work in night shift. Um, so I think what I would say is that you get enough time for yourself because day is your when you if you're able to compromise a little bit, on sleeping. Say for example, if you're taking 8 hours of sleep, and instead of doing that, you'll be okay if you sleep for 6 hours, 7 hours, right? You've got ample amount of time left for you to do anything you wish, right? So or if you want to take care of your personal stuff or your family stuff or anything of that sort, I think you have your enough time in the day, right? And then you can get things done, and then you can go back to office. But I think on the contrary, who works in day shift, right? What happens is, I mean, days entirely you're supposed to be at office at work, right? And if you have to entertain anything of your personal choice, you have to take either leave or half day or something like that. But that never happens if you work in night. So that's probably one of the advantages. What I uh, experienced. And but again, I mean, if you talk about your health, I think that is something really, really important.
Yeah.
If you work in night shift, you have to really take care of your health. Somebody who doesn't exercise should really, really exercise and take good care of their health. Um, you should take care of your food. You should not I mean, you cannot be casual about your health, right? Because you're going against the nature, against the
Yeah.
clock. So these are the few of the things which one must take care of it if you work in night shift. And rest, I think, yeah, everything looks normal.
Mm,
And you get used to it. You get used to you acclimatize yourself with the situation.
mm.
So everything seems normal if you ask this question to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's only
So
so much that you can go on working in this manner, right? So how long do you see yourself working in the night
I
shifts?
don't
And
know. That I
eventually,
cannot say.
okay.
That I that I cannot say. I see people, somebody who are more senior to me and they're still in night shift.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, I think they are into this business, I think, for more than 20 years.
Oh wow. All
And
right.
I am not, so I haven't spent that many years into night shift.
Uh-huh.
So, but they're physically fit, mentally
All right.
strong, and so many other things. But answering to your question, I have no idea how long I
Um,
would be able to continue as long as your health supports
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you're able to meet all the expectations, you're able to meet your family's standards and everything. What's wrong in it? And you continue until health allows.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
yeah. So, well, as long as it works for you, that's a great thing, and it's okay to keep on going. As opposed to some people, who work in night shifts and they keep on telling me that, oh, okay, I'm looking for a switch to a new company where I
Right.
can follow the normal routine, right? Which
Absolutely.
they're not allowed at the moment. So yeah, and even I was thinking that I could pull off night shift, but I think my body doesn't allow because I do work with some of the international students as well, people from Japan, which is around 3.5 hours early from
Right.
India, right, and some Southeast Asian countries, right. So I was thinking if I could do that somewhere post midnight. But one time I did, I was sleep deprived, so I just couldn't function properly for the entire day.
Uh,
So yeah, I think that I'm not just
what,
made.
what time? What time you go to bed, by the way? What time you
Normally,
sleep?
I sleep before midnight. Usually
Before
midnight.
midnight,
Yeah, and
12
I try to
o'clock?
get up. Yeah,
12 o'clock. Okay.
so I try to get up at 5 or 6, right? But I once thought that maybe I should work post midnight till 3 or 4, but I think it took a toll on my body. Yeah,
Let me ask you this question. You go to bed at 12 o'clock, right?
yeah,
What time you sleep? Does it take you probably half an hour, 1 hour to
yeah.
get
At
get
least one.
yourself into a deep sleep, or you just go to bed and probably in 5 minutes you get to sleep?
No, I can't just fall asleep at once. So it takes me about half an hour. And I have this very bad habit to watch something on YouTube or at least something playing in the background, which is not a good habit. I admit that. So yeah, so to say maybe 12 and a half. Yeah, 12:30 would be
Right.
my
Since you said that you're sleep deprived, so I think that's why I thought let's ask this question to you.
mm,
Okay.
yeah. But
Right.
now I'm trying to take afternoon naps, so that helps me compensate for the sleep that I lose because I wake up
So
early.
I think, what time you start taking classes in the morning?
That really depends. It's my routine is rather erratic. So if I sleep well, then I get up early, maybe somewhere as early as 5:30 or 6, and I take 1 or 2 sessions. If not, then I wake up at 6:30. Then I go to play badminton. That's my workout, morning workout, and I once again come back
Right.
and start with my session. So yeah, that's apparently the routine that I've had for almost a year now.
And I'm sure that you must be taking sleep or probably a nap in the afternoon.
I do,
Do you?
I do. Yes, at
Right.
least half an hour nap. That just
Yeah.
revitalizes me a little bit. to keep me for the evening. So I do keep it.
Absolutely. You know what? Like, I'm sorry to cut you. What
No,
I'm
no, no.
saying is,
Yeah,
since I can understand, since you don't have more family obligations at this point in time, right?
yeah.
You can certainly sleep for 8 hours, 7 hours at least. Uh, but when you go up the ladder, or probably when you have your family responsibilities, you might not be able to sleep the way you expect. I see a lot of coworkers sitting next to me when they say I sleep for 8, 9 hours. So how long do you sleep? I see, look, I sometimes what happens is, since I have got twins responsibilities, I hardly am able to sometimes
Mhm.
sleep for 3 hours, 4 hours, and that's more than enough. And you cannot do, you go you have to go to work, right? And you go to work and take a cup of coffee, and what happens is you keep yourself awake for hours. Sometimes you feel drowsed a little bit, but again, you cannot do anything. So that's what I'm saying. When you do not have much responsibilities, the family responsibilities, you can probably take 8 hours, 9 hours of sleep. That's perfectly all right. But once you get into all of those, you'd hardly find enough time to get, to sleep, and that too deep sleep. So that happens.
How much sleep are you getting these days?
I think now I'm able to sleep for like 6 hours, maybe five to 6 hours, and that too in, I think, installments, bits and pieces.
Yeah, it's not a
So
sound sleeper.
yeah, it
Okay.
is not sound sleep, yes, but I think what I believe is, maybe when my kids will grow up a little bit, maybe when they will turn 3 years, I think I would have enough time then to
Mm.
sleep, but not anymore now. Yes.
Okay. By the way, I forgot to ask you, what kind of sessions do you normally like having? Today it was just a free flow, a natural conversation, but normally what do you enjoy? And you must have certain expectations out of this platform, out of the trainers over here. So how do you normally go?
I think I'm pretty fine, pretty okay with the casual conversation as well. Like, we do not have any topic to discuss. So that's pretty okay. I'm feeling comfortable. I'm really feeling glad that we are exchanging our conversation. And that's a kind of casual talk that we're doing.
Mhm.
So I don't have any expectation that, okay, this is the topic and I want to discuss it. I want to focus it. We're going to discuss only this much. No, I'm pretty comfortable with anything that comes our way.
Uh,
And if, as long as we are able to communicate, as long as you're able to communicate effectively, I think your goal is met. So nothing specific, but if you ask me, like, what else you think you should improve within yourself, I would certainly like to reframe sentences, make less mistakes, uh, use as much as the idioms and phrases in your conversation, right? Uh, so that would be my interest. I think that would be something which I would like to do. Else, if not, these kind of conversation also look good to me.
hey, I think you were
Yeah.
fantastic today. Uh, you didn't. The thing is that I'd like to keep it as natural as possible with uh, every other learner, irrespective of their levels. But yeah, today it was quite natural, and I don't have any substantial feedback to share with you because you're pretty advanced and natural with your language. So wow, I'm really
Thank
glad
you.
we had this
Thanks, Pritam.
conversation today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other question? Any other question before we wrap up today's session? I think we have come to the end of our class as well. But yeah.
Oh. We've almost we're towards the
Yeah.
end of the conversation. Okay. So questions. Okay. So what kind of things that you'd like to suggest to somebody who are beginners or intermediate, when somebody wants to learn English from the beginning? What would be your suggestion for them?
Okay. Well, I myself once a beginner, so I the way how I improve my English is I would like to attribute to listening to a lot of English content, be it watching movies, listening to podcasts, audiobooks, whatever, being in the conversation and also still observing. Like you and I, we are having this conversation, right? And when you're speaking, I'm keenly observing. That's letting me understand about how you speak and the expressions that you used and the words that you played around with, right? So it's a learning curve. Every conversation that you have is an opportunity to learn, right? So
Absolutely.
I would ask people who are learners, be it in their beginner, intermediate, or even advanced level, to be more keen on listening and have their ears open. And becoming a keen observer will teach them a lot of things about the language. Yeah.